Hey, how's it going? So, I'm reading this article, Are You Addicted to Suffering and Struggling? From HuffPost. And I heard about this before when I kind of have a degree in business, and we were doing organizational psychology. So, I am aware that you can actually get addicted to almost any emotion, right? As long as the emotional chemical release in your brain persists, you can technically be addicted to practically anything, right? And a lot of people actually get addicted to suffering and struggle, right? So why is League so addictive? That's because it produces so much chemicals in your brain. Like, I myself personally tell you that I get over overwhelmingly angry when I get like four of like probably even three losers queue in a row of people hard feeding, especially when I set up a goal in my mind. For example, I'm gonna like play really well and see how many wins I can get in a row, right? And it happens like this: like I set this goal, I want to win a couple of games in a row, right? See how many wins I can get, right? I win 2 games in a row. I'm saying okay, everything is fine, right? And then I just get these games where I have hard feeders, like hard feeders, and I'm just like playing, trying to figure out like destroying the enemy jungle, taking all the objectives, destroying turrets, securing like kills and stuff like that, and the team is just throwing and throwing and throwing, and you feel so hopeless. You feel just like honestly, couple of times I almost destroyed my furniture in my room, right? Because the emotional anger that you get from those games is so high. I can see why people get so connected and so like addicted to the game. Do you know what I mean? Because it's very rare in my life that I can say that I got so angry. Very, very rare. The only time where I got angry was when I was playing basketball and the referees were fixing the game. So they're like, we were playing finals once. It was so stupid, but the referees were the coaches of the team that we were playing against. So can you imagine how stupid that is, right? Of course, every single thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be either foul or some kind of violation. So I got so angry, I started like crying, throwing chairs. It was I was about 16 back then. I still remember this experience. And League makes me feel like that as well, right? Now you have to understand, back then it was rigged. I felt this emotion because it was rigged and I felt there is nothing I can do, right? So why are you feeling like that in League of Legends? That's because it's rigged, right? You have no control. And you know that psychologically, you know that. This is why the tilt happens, because you know that next game can be like that as well, and the next game can be like that as well, and the next game can be like that. You are at the mercy of the system. So I would highly recommend you to read this article, and you'll see yourself in it. Do you know what I mean? So the rehabilitation process is a little bit vague in here, but you can do, let me just see, because there is one I did and it really helped me big time. Smart recovery tools. Yeah, 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 yeah. So this is the Irish website, but I think everybody will have one of those. So smart recovery, they pretty much do. Uh, you see, you can kind of go there and download PDF and just. I honestly went through every single one of them and I filled them in myself, and it does help, right? This is kind of like for people who are addicted, right? I mean, let's get serious. You play League of Legends, right? You hate the game and you're still playing it, right? Chances are you probably are addicted, right? So this kind of gives you thinking tools to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? My personal favorite was the cost and benefit analysis, right? Because you can see the benefits of playing League, the costs of playing League, right? And then you can see the benefits of not playing League and the costs of not playing League, right? And most of the time, it's not worth your time. Like logically, it's not worth your time to play it, right? The only real kind of I'd say real logical sense that I would say that maybe League of Legends does fulfill, and that's loneliness, right? Because like if you're a successful guy, right? If you're a successful guy, you know you need to do a lot of work, you need to do a lot of research. You don't really have a lot of time to build meaningful relationships, right? To cure loneliness. And League of Legends provides a very quick fix from loneliness, right? Ideally, if you can play the game where you don't care about the outcome, you just play it to get rid of loneliness, I think it's a good tool. The problem is I try to do it, but I'm so competitive by nature. I want to win the game, right? This is why I encourage people to play one on one because it removes the loneliness layer, right? But unfortunately, like one on one does not, it's not an optimal fix, right? It's not an optimal solution. Like League, when you play ranked or when you play normals, when you play 5 on 5, it completely removes the loneliness thing, right? So it does have that thing, right? But the problem, it comes with baggage. Do you know what I mean? And the baggage is so big, you cannot. It's not worth it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to kind of figure out. How do I benefit from the league while removing the baggage? If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like the one-on-one definitely is like 50% fix, right? So you can do that. I will definitely tell you that it definitely works to a certain extent, right? Then what else works? Also, oh yeah, that actually works as well. It's a little bit boring. It gets a little bit boring, but it works as well. Is ranking accounts down, right? So as opposed to trying to go to challenger, try to go to iron 4, right? It's actually quite fun to do. So for example, you can get banned for this, but I did a couple of times. You can get Yumi, right? You can take Smite and then attach yourself to your enemy, to your jungler, and steal all of his buffs. So you're kind of deliberately throwing the game. You're gonna get banned for this, but it's fun to do. I mean, but then you see, every feeder on your team is now your best friend because you're trying to lose the game. Do you know what I mean? And the reason, the problems I had with that is I'm very competitive. I like to win, and for me, like losing, it just feels wrong. Do you know what I mean? It just does not feel natural to me to kind of lose the game. Do you know what I mean? It feels weird. That's why I prefer one-on-one games, right? But I'm telling you, I tried normal. Like I haven't played League for like 6 days now. But just think, I'm watching streams. Actually, watching streams also helps, where you kind of like participating, being part of community, I suppose, but you're not playing at the same time, right? Like the only thing I can tell you is like I have good neighbors, right? I live in a kind of a house where I have good neighbors, and I always have a way out. Not everybody has that, so I can say that I'm a little bit lucky. Do you know what I mean? So, but sometimes, but like the challenge is, how do you enjoy the game? Like League, how do you actually enjoy it? Do you know what I mean? Because you can't play to win, because like you don't have control over the system, right? The only time when I really felt control over a system, when I dual queued 3 to 5 people, and we were playing in normals, leveling up accounts, and all of us were like, I was plat and most of them were diamond. So every game we would just win. Do you know what I mean? That's just what. Even games that were very close, we still won them because nobody trolled. Like when I was playing like five with pre-mades, the games were not trolled. You know what I mean? Even if I will tell you straight away. Even if we were to lose some of those games, they were. I would take those losses as okay, right? Because we would lose to better strategy. Because we would get outplayed sometimes, right? Outsmited. Um, Sometimes enemy team grouped well, right? But they weren't this bullshit, like when you play League of Legends ranked and you lose games where it's just nonsense. The reason why you lose is just nonsense. It's like your ADC Tristana just jumps into five people and gets one shotted right before the Baron. This is not supposed to be happening. Do you know what I mean? Or you go take every single objective, you're like 10,000 gold behind, three of your teammates just go and start inting for the whole game. This type of stuff is what tilts you. Do you know what I mean? And this is curable only if you have five players that are good on your team and you're smurfing, right? But again, it's very inefficient because if you're like if you want to be successful, you want to make a lot of money, right? You need to have high skill, which means you kind of be alone for a very long time, working on your craft. Like I'm a programmer, so I have to learn new languages. I have to practice using them. I have to practice building applications and stuff like that, right? So there's a lot of time where you're by yourself, right? So League solves that issue, right? But the problem, again, I'm telling you, it's just it comes with this baggage, and the baggage is too big. It's just way, way, way too big, right? So I'm trying to figure out right now how do I replace, I suppose, League, you know? So just I encourage you to read this article, right? Then go here, check out this stuff. It's pretty good. Honestly, this is good for any type of behavior. So, for example, if you want to go to the gym more often, you can apply this because this is kind of like tools so you can psychologically change your behavior. It doesn't have to be addiction, right? It can be something like you want to be more disciplined. You can apply these tools to that as well because this stuff is kind of designed for to work with human psychology to produce behavior changes. And this is these are just tools for this. And I also read this book. It was actually quite good. Dun, 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 dun. Where is the book? No, it's not this one here. Yeah, this one here. Now, honestly, you don't really have to read the whole book because this book is effectively just the tools in this book. And I'll just have it in here so you can see it. Recovery skill workbook, right? Suzetter, Glasner-Edwards, PhD, right? Honestly, like this book and this are almost the same thing. It's just that the books explains more. But if you can just use this website, download those PDFs, right? And just do them and Google explanations, right? But book is just like if you like reading. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's the reason why you're playing most of the time. I'm assuming that like you have like healthy relationships or whatever, you have family and friends and stuff, is you're addicted to suffering. That's kind of fundamental because League produces a lot of emotions. I'm talking about like anger, super anger emotions, right? So be aware of that. All right. I'll link the description to this and this in the video so you can read it. This is like a 2 minute, maybe 5 minute read. It's very, very quickly. Okay, hope this helps. Take care.